Stop being dramatic, Anna. Marcus is just trying to discipline you. My mother's words echoed in my ears as I lay on the cold hospital bed, waiting for the X-ray technician. The searing pain in my leg competed with the throbbing in my chest, where Marcus had shoved me against the stair railing just hours earlier. My name is Anna Mitchell, and at 17, I'd become an expert at making excuses for my injuries. The bruises were from soccer practice. The sprained wrist? I fell off my bike. The cut above my eyebrow? I walked into a door. But this time was different. This time, Marcus had gone too far. It started when I got home 15 minutes late from study group. Marcus was waiting by the door, his face already red with anger. My mother stood behind him, wringing her hands like she always did when she knew what was coming. "Where were you?" His voice was eerily calm, the kind of calm that made my stomach turn. "I'm sorry, the bus was late and I—" "Don't lie to me." His hand shot out, grabbing my backpack and throwing it across the room. Books scattered across the floor, my laptop making a sickening crack as it hit the wall. "I'm not lying, I swear. You can check the bus schedule." That's when he snapped. Marcus grabbed my arm, dragging me toward the stairs. "Maybe sometime in your room will help you learn respect." I tried to pull away, but his grip was like iron. My mother just watched, her face a mask of forced indifference. As he shoved me toward the stairs, I lost my balance. The last thing I remember was the sound of my leg snapping and my mother's gasp. Now, lying in the emergency room, my mother was still trying to control the narrative. "Tell them you fell down the stairs, Anna. Marcus was just trying to send you to your room. He didn't mean for this to happen." But something in me had broken along with my leg. 3 years of Marcus's discipline, 3 years of my mother's excuses, 3 years of living in fear in my own home. I was done. The X-ray technician, a kind-faced woman named Sarah, wheeled me into the imaging room. My mother tried to follow, but Sarah politely asked her to wait outside. As soon as the door closed, Sarah's professional smile faded into concern. "Honey, I need you to hold very still while I take these images," she said, positioning my leg carefully. "But I want you to know that you're safe here. Whatever you need to tell me, I'm listening." I bit my lip, tears welling up in my eyes. Years of keeping secrets pressed against my throat, threatening to spill out. Sarah worked quietly, taking multiple angles of my leg. Each movement sent waves of pain through my body, but I remained still. "These old injuries," Sarah said softly, looking at the initial images. "They tell a story, don't they?" I couldn't hold back anymore. "He said he was teaching me discipline," I whispered, my voice breaking. "Mom says he's just strict, that all stepfathers are like this." "But—" Sarah's hand found mine, squeezing gently. "No, sweetheart, not all stepfathers break their children's bones." She showed me the X-ray screen, pointing to shadows that indicated healed fractures. "See these? They're not from falls or accidents. These are defensive injuries. Your body has been keeping a record of everything he's done to you." For the first time, I saw physical proof of what I'd endured. The evidence was there, written in my bones, impossible to dismiss or explain away. Sarah reached for the phone on the wall, her expression determined. "I'm legally required to report this," she said. "But more than that, I want to help you. Will you let me?" I looked at the X-ray screen again, at the story my bones were telling. Then I thought about Marcus waiting outside, probably already crafting his next excuse. About my mother, ready to defend him yet again. About the years of pain and fear that would continue if I stayed silent. "Yes," I said, my voice stronger than I expected. "Please help me." Sarah nodded, dialing a number I would later learn was for both the police and Child Protective Services. As she spoke quietly into the phone, I closed my eyes, exhausted but somehow lighter. For the first time in 3 years, I felt a glimmer of hope. I could hear my mother in the hallway, her voice rising as she demanded to know what was taking so long. But in that moment, protected by Sarah and the truth my X-rays revealed, I knew things would never be the same. The police were coming, and Marcus's reign of terror was about to end. My mother's excuses wouldn't save him this time. The evidence was right there, captured in black and white, impossible to deny or explain away. The next few hours passed in a blur. 2 police officers arrived, their faces grim as they reviewed my X-rays with Sarah. Detective Lisa Martinez took the lead, her gentle demeanor helping me feel safe enough to finally tell the whole truth. Start from the beginning, she said, sitting beside my hospital bed. When did the abuse start? I told her everything. How Marcus moved in when I was 14, how the discipline started with harsh grabs and pushes, escalating to full-blown violence within months. I described each accident that had sent me to different emergency rooms, always with a carefully rehearsed story and a different hospital to avoid suspicion. Your mother knew? Detective Martinez asked, though her tone suggested she already knew the answer. She always said he was doing it for my own good. I replied, my voice hollow, that I needed a father figure to keep me in line. Outside my room, I could hear my mother's hysterical protests mixing with Marcus's angry demands. The second officer was questioning them separately, and from the rising volume, it wasn't going well. Sarah, the X-ray tech, had stayed with me through everything. She brought me water, adjusted my pillows, and most importantly, kept my mother and Marcus away. The police need to finish their investigation, she'd tell them firmly whenever they tried to enter. Dr. Thompson, the orthopedic surgeon, came in to discuss my leg. The break is clean, he explained, pointing to the X-ray. But what concerns me more are these older injuries. We found evidence of at least 7 previously healed fractures. Detective Martinez documented everything, taking photos of my current injuries and making detailed notes about the past incidents. She pulled out her phone, showing me pictures of a facility I'd never seen before. This is Haven House, she explained. It's a secure youth shelter where you'll be staying once you're released. Your mother and stepfather won't be able to reach you there. The thought of not going home both terrified and relieved me. What about school? I asked, trying to focus on practical matters to keep from breaking down. They have a private tutoring program, she assured me. You won't fall behind. Suddenly, a commotion erupted in the hallway. You can't do this, Marcus's voice boomed. She's my stepdaughter. I have rights. Sir, please lower your voice, a male officer warned. This is a hospital. This is ridiculous, my mother joined in. We're her parents. You can't just take her. Sarah stepped outside briefly, then returned with a tight smile. They're being escorted out, she said. Security will make sure they don't come back. Detective Martinez squeezed my hand. You're incredibly brave, Anna. I know this isn't easy, but you're doing the right thing. A social worker named Ms. Chen arrived shortly after, carrying a folder thick with documents. We'll be filing for an emergency protection order, she explained. Neither your mother nor Marcus will be legally allowed to contact you. As she spoke, I could hear Marcus being led away in handcuffs, his threats echoing down the hallway. My mother's sobs followed, but for the first time, they didn't weaken my resolve. The X-rays had shown everyone what I'd known all along. This wasn't discipline. It was abuse. What happens next? I asked, looking between Detective Martinez and Ms. Chen. First, we get your leg properly set, Ms. Chen said. Then, once you're stable, we'll move you to Haven House. You'll have your own room, counseling services, and round-the-clock support staff. And Marcus? I couldn't help but ask. He's being charged with child abuse, assault, and battery, Detective Martinez answered. With the X-ray evidence and your statement, he's facing significant prison time. And my mom? The detective's face softened. She's being charged with child endangerment and failure to protect. She'll have to answer for her role in this too. I nodded, emotions churning inside me. Part of me still loved my mother, still wished she had chosen to protect me instead of Marcus. But the bigger part knew this was necessary. Both of them needed to face consequences for what they'd done. Sarah, who had become my unexpected guardian angel through all of this, finally had to leave for her next shift. You're going to be okay, she whispered, hugging me carefully. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is tell the truth. As the day turned to evening, I lay in my hospital bed, my leg now properly set in a cast. The pain medication made everything feel slightly surreal, but for the first time in years, I felt safe. The constant fear that had been my companion for so long was finally beginning to fade. Detective Martinez had left her card on my bedside table, along with a promise to check on me regularly. Ms. Chen was arranging my transfer to Haven House, and Dr. Thompson had assured me I would make a full recovery. The truth that had been hidden in my bones was finally out, and there was no going back. As I drifted off to sleep, I realized that my broken leg had actually set me free. 6 months passed like a whirlwind. My leg healed stronger than before, much like my spirit. Haven House became more than just a shelter. It became my first taste of real safety. My roommate Jade had a similar story, and we formed an instant bond over late-night talks and shared healing. The trial date was approaching, and while my anxiety spiked every time I thought about facing Marcus and my mother in court, my support system remained unshakable. Detective Martinez visited regularly, updating me on the case and sometimes just bringing me my favorite coffee. Sarah, the X-ray tech who changed my life, still checked in through Ms. Chen, sending care packages and encouraging notes. "You're a star student," my tutor at Haven House often said. Without the constant stress of walking on eggshells at home, my grades had improved dramatically. I'd even started applying to colleges, something Marcus had always said was a waste of time for someone like me. The day of the trial arrived with a crisp autumn chill. I wore a blue blazer borrowed from Haven House's clothing program, my hands steady as I walked into the courthouse with Ms. Chen by my side. Detective Martinez met us at the entrance, her presence reassuring. "Remember," she said, "just tell the truth. Your X-rays already tell the story, you're just giving it a voice." The courtroom felt smaller than I'd imagined. Marcus sat with his lawyer, trying to maintain his strict but caring stepfather facade. My mother was separated from him, looking pale and drawn. Neither of them would meet my eyes. Sarah was there too, ready to testify about the X-rays that had broken the cycle of abuse. She gave me a warm smile as I passed, helping calm my nerves as I took the stand. For 2 hours, I testified about every accident, every lesson, every time my mother chose Marcus over my safety. My voice remained strong, even as I described the final incident that broke my leg. The prosecutor displayed my X-rays on a large screen, each healed fracture a testament to what I'd endured. "And what did your mother say when you told her about the abuse?" the prosecutor asked. "She said Marcus was just being strict," I replied, my voice clear. "That I needed discipline, and I should be grateful he cared enough to correct my behavior." Marcus's lawyer tried to paint him as a concerned stepfather dealing with a rebellious teenager, but the medical evidence was irrefutable. Dr. Thompson's testimony about the pattern of injuries left no room for doubt. When the verdict came, it felt like everyone in the courtroom held their breath. Marcus was found guilty on all counts, sentenced to 15 years in prison. My mother received 5 years for child endangerment with mandatory counseling. As they led Marcus away, he finally looked at me, his face contorted with rage. But this time, his anger couldn't touch me. I was no longer the frightened girl who believed she deserved his discipline. Outside the courthouse, surrounded by my support team, I finally let the tears fall, not from fear or pain, but from relief. Sarah hugged me tightly, whispering, "You did it, honey. You're free." Detective Martinez had a surprise for me. She'd been in contact with several organizations that supported abuse survivors, and they'd arranged a full scholarship for my college education. "Your future is yours now," she said, handing me the acceptance letter. Back at Haven House that evening, we had a small celebration. Jade had baked a cake, decorating it with the words "Victory" in wobbly blue frosting. Ms. Chen presented me with a journal, its cover embossed with a phoenix. "For your new beginning," she said. "Sometimes the strongest people come from the hardest battles." As I packed for college a few months later, I found the X-rays Sarah had given me copies of. Looking at them now, I saw more than just evidence of abuse. I saw the moment everything changed, the day someone finally saw the truth and stood up for me. I'm now studying to become a radiologic technologist. Sometimes people ask why I chose this field, and I tell them about Sarah, about how one person's willingness to look deeper and speak up can save a life. I want to be that person for someone else. My leg healed with barely a scar, but I keep those X-rays as a reminder, not of the pain I endured, but of the strength I found. They remind me that the truth, like broken bones, can hurt as it heals, but it makes us stronger in the end. Last week, I received a letter from my mother in prison. She's finally attending therapy, finally acknowledging her role in what happened. I'm not ready to forgive her yet, but for the first time, I'm focusing on my own healing rather than managing everyone else's feelings. As I walk across campus to my classes, my steps are steady and sure. The scared girl who once thought she deserved abuse has been replaced by a young woman who knows her worth. My bones tell a story now, not of breaking, but of healing, of triumph, and of the strength that comes from finally speaking the truth.